Hey, welcome to the next episode of the podcast. Glad you joined us. Make sure to subscribe and also leave comments. Each week we'll put up new shows. If you're a new subscriber, check out all the past episodes as well to catch up. But we look forward to continue talking and hope you enjoy what we're hearing at this point. Let's focus on, let me ask you this. So let's talk about TV. Let's go back to some shows that have popped up. Now, is everybody caught up on WandaVision?
Yeah. I'm not.
No, you didn't.
Fuck.
I'm not.
All right.
Well, we gave an extra day. I'm sorry, JD. I tried. I did.
You did. I applaud your effort. I applaud your efforts.
Thank you.
Yeah. Mike's a bit of a disappointment, but it's okay. It's okay. Have you watched any of WandaVision?
I have. I did. Okay. I watched the first 2 episodes.
Okay. they're only 25-minute episodes. It's not like they're long.
Right. A lot of time. There's other things to do besides just watch TV sometimes. Sometimes you have other things.
That's what I'm saying. You have a busy day, 25 minutes out of the day you can put aside. It's like a lunch break and you can watch it.
It can be, yeah, especially if you're available to watch. Yeah, sure. If you're out and about doing things, it's kind of hard.
You never go home to go to sleep?
I didn't. Stop paying attention to your kids and you'll be fine.
Wow.
Start being selfish, Mike.
Right.
Screw those kids.
What about us?
Yeah. Think about yourself.
Is that what it is?
My family. Shows are more important, damn it.
Well, so
no. You want to go over the first 2 episodes then?
Nah, there's no point.
No point.
Are we
done now? Is that it?
Wow. Okay.
Well, let me ask you guys this so far. Let's just talk about the first 2 episodes. What's your thoughts?
I just fucking said that.
I said no. We're not going to talk about it. Are you paying attention? Get off your fucking phone. Get off your phone. There it is. Exactly. It's like someone driving a car.
What are you talking about?
Slowly in the fast lane with a gap of like 500 feet between cars because of texting at that point in time.
He was getting 75 and he's slowing down. The one that you're like, dude, speed up. And he starts slowing down.
And then when you go around him, suddenly he puts the phone down. Now he's back up to 90 again.
Yeah.
He's driving like this.
Yeah. Kind of. Yeah. So anyway, how about this? We talked about this before.
What does JD want now?
Justice League. Let's talk about Justice League. So Zack Snyder has made comments that it's not going to be an individual 1 hour, 4 episodes of 1 hour. He thought that was stupid. Is basically what I got out of it. And it's going to be the full 4-hour movie. Like that's it. So we talked about this before, and Mike, debate said, "Oh, I'll watch every episode." I'm like, "Fuck it, I'm going to wait for the full movie. Why would I bother?" Seems like that's what's going to happen. We're going to get it.
Either way, I was going to watch it, so it didn't matter how it came out. I was just excited to watch it.
But 4 hours, so that's going to be a nice long movie.
Yeah.
No different than someone binge watching.
Totally agree.
Right.
Totally agree. Yeah. Right? I'm not disagreeing with
you. Overtime for 12 hours. It's no different.
I'm just wondering if he's going to put like a, the old days, they'd always put an intermission.
Yeah.
Halfway through and go intermission, find that right cut, put that little intermission side. Back in the day, obviously it'd be like a 15-minute intermission because we'd have to get up, go get food. At home, you can do it for like a 2-minute, just make people think about it, to pause it at that point in time.
But you can now because you're streaming. You can just pause it anytime and do that.
Mike, he's just saying, Jesus.
I'm just saying, right? Whoa.
Hey, no. Here's eating ourselves. Remember VHS tapes? When they got to a certain length, they actually had to break it into 2 VHS.
Yeah, 2 tapes. Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Betamax.
Godfather was one of those long movies that had to be broken.
So one of the funny stories is we were doing our wedding invites, and my sister-in-law came over and we started watching Braveheart on VHS. And she basically said, if we get to the second tape, she's been here too long. And she ended up staying until the end of the movie. So she was there too long.
You can't leave halfway through.
You can't leave at Braveheart half. What are you talking about?
No. We're still doing wedding invitations.
But still, it's Braveheart. You can't.
Braveheart
it's one of the greatest movies ever created. Braveheart.
Right.
That is true. That is
one of the many movies where Mel Gibson is fighting against the English.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's that. There's Patriot.
Yeah.
What's another one?
You said everybody who says that, but those are the only two I ever really know about.
Yeah, now I'm trying to think. Are there other movies that he's literally fighting against the English that I
really good point. There's only those two. Maybe because they were like
I can't think of any other two that he did.
Yeah.
You know, I liked him in though Mel Gibson is in Payback.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
With Lucy Liu, small appearance in that one. Yeah.
Such an interesting character for him to play.
Shit out of that guy.
Yeah, that was awesome. That's a great movie. But yeah.
Okay, so now you make me think. All right, let me throw this at you, and this is on the spot. So we're talking about Braveheart. Obviously, one of the best parts of Braveheart is the speech.
Of course.
Right? When he's getting the whole group fired up to take on the English in the field, and that's their biggest battle win right there, is to kind of figure out that, hey, we could actually do this. We could kind of create that huge moment in the movie. Still one of the best parts of the movie at all time. Any other movies you can think of right off the bat that had those sort of compelling big moment speeches that really have a big impact on the movie?
Gladiator, when he revealed himself to the king.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah,
that was an epic moment. You're like, oh, that sent your chills down your spine. Like, and you see how Joaquin Phoenix reacted, right? And as him being Caesar, right, his reaction was fit the scene really well. Russell Crowe did such a phenomenal job as Maximus. So that I would say was one of those iconic pieces right there as well. A little short speech, not as long as Braveheart, but still it was a.
Well, actually, one of my favorite ones. I don't know if it's a speech, but it was a motivational one. Was Hoosiers. So one of the greatest sports movies of all time. But when they actually go to the championship, and Gene Hackman, who is the coach, does the speech, he has them measure out, the height of the basketball hoop and the free throw line, and saying it's the same exact dimensions as their little gym back in Hickory, Indiana. I mean, it's just one of those things where, like you said, it was short. It wasn't this like big, yelling thing, but it's just one of those speeches that, set the tone for the final scene of the movie.
Yeah.
So, I love that one.
So I'll say a good speech, not necessarily a great movie, although it is a good movie. But I don't go out of my way to find it. Is Any Given Sunday, Al Pacino, when he's talking about that 1 inch,
you win by inches.
Yeah, the story of inches. I mean, it's so true in football, right? It is about inches in a lot of cases. So I thought that was a great one too. When I think about that, as being one of those sort of compelling points, in a movie that kind of helps sort of set the tone for that final epic, moment, because it really was towards the end. Like Braveheart was in the middle.
Yep.
Kind of in the middle, somewhere around there. Although now I want to rewatch that movie again now that we've been talking about it. But yeah, he tried to recreate that in Patriot to some degree too.
Yeah, it didn't work though. It
Not necessarily the speech per se, but the moment with the flag and getting pushed forward. I mean, similar moments.
Well, going back, going to the tide.
For me, I would have to say, and maybe because it's my favorite movie is Man of Steel, when he's about to fly and you hear Russell Crowe explaining to him about who he is, what his purpose is there, that whole speech and how the world's going to follow. For me, that set like the tone of the movie right there. It's like, oh,
actually, that's a great part too. I'll add, there's one other part of that movie I love as well. I do really like that movie. That's still one of my favorite Superman movies, and I can watch it all the time. Yeah. It's towards the end when he's trying to take out the World Eater sort of machine on the other side of the continent, and he's stuck down below, and it's just beating down on him, and just the music build up to when he starts to force himself through. That's a fantastic part too. I love that. So lots of good things. And Patton. That's true. Good point. Yeah.
I looked it up. Right when I saw Patton, I'm like, oh fuck yeah! I mean that movie was just iconic.
Yeah, it is. For those who haven't seen it, the George C. Scott Patton movie is fantastic. Yeah. I mean, even if I talked about speeches, but really epic scenes too that always stand out is even Saving Private Ryan. The scene to capture the beach, that whole epic, of catching that is still
a good movie.
Such a fantastic part. The effort they put
in. One of the greatest scenes of all time, in my opinion. I mean, it's the way he captured. I mean, the way he captured the feeling. It's like you always want to think those guys were heroic, but you forget that they're like our kids' age.
Yeah,
our kids. 19 or I'm sorry, a 20-year-old is a child to me still. I mean, look at the stuff we were doing at 20 years old. I mean, we were responsible for different things, but at 20, you're still. Then they're put in that situation where, I mean, they come off the boat. They're pretty much half of them are going to die, and they knew it. I mean, that scene just was incredible.
Right. That's true. Yeah.
Troy had scenes.
True.
It had a few of those moments where, like, you know, Achilles does a thing, and is there nobody else? You know, that's just kind of like iconic. The way that he delivered it was great.
Right. And
then go to a TV series.
Go ahead. Well, no, I would say to that point, like, to me, scenes or moments that give you sort of, you know, for some people, chills and that, you know, feeling at that moment in time. Obviously, Mandalorian, the final episode of season 2 with Luke Skywalker is like one of those moments.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, when the ship, when they say it's one X-wing, you all of a sudden you got that chilly like one X-wing, and then you see
the guy in a black cloak walking before he lights the lightsaber. You already know who it is. Most people would.
Yeah.
Not all, if they don't watch, who've only become Mandalorian fans, haven't really watched a lot of the original trilogy.
You know what it is.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was like, I don't know, dude. That was like,
you know what? What's funny is what I thought of when I saw that was Rogue One. At the end of Rogue One, when Darth Vader is doing the same.
And that's exactly what it was. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. The comparison to that. Yeah.
Copy that. It was almost, I don't want to say a carbon copy, but it gave that same feeling of, look, all of a sudden, you know, you hear the voice, you hear us breathing, and you see the red saber. And when I remember seeing that in the theater, like I liked Rogue One. It was one of my favorite of the Disney.
It's the best one since the original trilogy.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yes.
But that scene sold it for me. Right when you saw that, you were like, I just remember being like in the theater, like, oh shit,
That was
holy shit.
Well,
I mean, that was just like, and they did it right too. I mean, it was just him just going about it, you know, just blocking everything, doing the chokes, throwing them around. It was just like so fucking badass. Epic, And this one reminded me of it. I mean, it didn't have the sheer, like, I don't know what you would say, the dark violence or whatever that the Darth Vader scene gave, but yeah, it was great.
Yeah, well, true. Well, and it's funny because after that, a lot of people would post notes like, "This is why you never let Skywalkers in a hallway."
Yeah.
And it's true because in a similar sense to Len's point, that's kind of how it happened. Now, you know, he's walking through this cruiser, just destroying all these
so badass
Dark troopers, like, with ease. And then the final one where he just grabs him, grips him in the Force, and just crushes him, drops him. It's similar to the point with Vader, who's just like tossing guys up in the air, crushing them, moving around, just blocking everything.
You thought you were good, right? Yeah.
Which, it's a funny thing is, you know, that's 5 years after Empire Strikes Back is when Mandalorian takes place, right? Or Return of the Jedi. I'm sorry, 5 years after Return of the Jedi.
6 years, 5 years, yeah.
Yeah, I think it was 5 years. And then, but this is what you expected Luke to be. Strength, ability, and pushing himself. This isn't the shit that they should have shown. And I don't want to get into this because it always irritates me, but in the sequels.
I'm already irritated.
Right, the sequels just did him wrong. They did it all wrong. And they could have still done new characters. I always say this. They could have done the new characters, Rey and all those others, but the way they did it was just all wrong. That was just a pure play. Well, let's wipe out the old trilogy and let's just throw in some new characters for, you know, the purpose of we want to show we can do it differently. And Mandalorian showed you could do both the right way.
Yeah.
And that was the catch. I mean, and so, you know, Jon Favreau is he's awesome. Dave Filoni is fantastic. I mean, the two of them together just truly understand Lucas's vision, but they're better storytellers than Lucas may be when it comes to writing a script.
True.
So
definitely. Lucas had, like, you know, the writing in the original trilogy was good.
Well, the best movie of all movies is Empire, and he didn't write the script for that.
Right. Exactly.
Right. Or he didn't direct it in particular. He did write with the script. He did help with the script, but he didn't direct
do the script. Yeah, it wasn't him.
He didn't direct it at all. So
actually, you know what I watched last night was I think I brought this up like in a past episode, was the all the scenes from the Old Republic video game where they put it together. And if you never seen that, the Old Republic, all the cinematic scenes, it's like 48 minutes long. Mike, seriously, if you ever get a chance, if you haven't watched that, it's a good game. I mean, I played it here at home.
Fantastic game. I used to love. I played both of those.
Yeah.
You're talking about not the open world, but the Knights of the Old Republic or Old Republic?
Old Republic, MMO.
The MMO. Got it. Okay.
RPG. But the cinematics for it just fucking amazing. I mean, and again, they have another strong female character. So again, it's not the arc has nothing to do with the whole having a strong female. I mean, it has another strong female in it. It's not anything to do with that. It's just what I expected out of the sequels. I expected this blending of the two, having the technology of the day and actually showing a different universe, which they didn't do. But yeah, I mean, I hate that we always keep on coming back to that.
Sorry. Well,
but actually, one of the greatest scenes, also that I still watch is Game of Thrones, the one where Daenerys gets the Unsullied army.
Ooh,
that is one of the greatest scenes. Again, another strong woman. I mean, it's the one where she played everybody in that one. And I mean, I remember watching that and being, again, just like the whole, like, oh shit, like, where she basically was like, she knew Valyrian, right. That she knew the language. And then, of course, she gets the whip, saying that, she controls them. And then she gets her army, who are now free men. And then she's walking and she looks at the whip and just goes,
she dumps it.
She just drops it. I mean, the mic drop without. I mean, that is one of the greatest scenes, TV, movie, otherwise, of all time. I mean, just the setup for it, the execution. That's when Game of Thrones was at its peak. But yeah. I absolutely one of my favorite scenes of all time.
Yeah, it's always something to be said about having source material. But anyway, yeah. Right. Without source material, it goes to shit really fast.
Yeah, they usually don't.
Yeah.
But it's a point of view for everyone.
Anyway, so moving on, we're not going to get into that one again. I know where you're going. We're not getting into that one. We already killed that one. The last comment, another one epic final thought I have as far as great scenes, and I'd forgotten about this, so I saw this in a quick note. Caddyshack, Cinderella story, about to come. Champion. He's killing it's Bill Murray's character.
Yeah,
he's swinging away at the flowers he's got, and he's just using to swing away and having this vision of himself. Anyway, it's a funny point. Yeah. Clearly not. Mike, do you even know that part? Have you seen Caddyshack? You had to have seen Caddyshack.
I've seen it, but it's been a long time. Last time I seen it was maybe in the 80s.
Yeah, I was actually doing the sound effect from Chevy Chase's, but whatever.
Right, it's fine. I just kept going anyway. It's good. Yeah. It's good. Yeah, you're right. You're in there. It's fine.
Yeah. So people know what it is.
So maybe next week we can talk about WandaVision's latest episode.
Well, that's as long as somebody catches up with 2 episodes.
Watch me come back to this unless I haven't had a chance to watch it. Or
I'm going to make sure I do now, no matter what. I'm going to actually, on work, I'm going to put a 30-minute meeting on my calendar just to watch it. I'm going to have work pay for it.
Fantastic.
I really should say that out loud and, on something like on YouTube, but yeah.
Don't worry about it.
No one knows. I don't need a job, right? We need to pay for a mortgage and cars, and insurance, and college. Yeah, I don't need a job.
Paying attention. You're fine.
You're great. We don't have enough watchers. So that would be a big issue.
You're good. You're good. You're good. Everyone does it. You're working from home, sort
of. Play it, off to the side, and not pay attention to it, as people would say.
Of course, yeah. You'll just have it in the background.
That's what
exactly. You'll have it in the background. It's just in the background. Don't worry about it. Don't ignore the noise.
Just post it somewhere like that. You're just like, daydreaming off.
Yeah, exactly. It's just another.
I do that without another TV on, so it's not a big deal.
Yeah. You do it without that thing. Exactly.
Sleep when somebody's teaching something in a meeting, but whatever. Not
Good
gonna
point.
Yeah.
Good point.
Well, when the material sucks, right?
True.
Yeah.
I agree. Or there isn't any there. Then you have a problem.
Awake during that meeting, by the way. I really was. I was actually thinking to myself, it wasn't working.
It's good to know.
Yeah. It might feel better, but I don't think you care.
It just reminds me of that time we were in the office, we're all together, and who was that guy that fell asleep during the meeting?
Oh, you mean our director at the time?
Holy shit!
I'm not going to give his name.
Oh my god!
I'm not going to give his name, but yes.
Dude, okay, look, I will say that we were in from my meeting. The one I was talking about was JD was reviewing something that was really boring. It was in a warm room. I will fully admit now that yes, I was trying so hard not to close my eyes.
Mike did the same thing. I remember first time ever talking to Mike about how things were set. Eyes are like slowly closing.
Like, this is wonderful.
This director, I mean, remember, he would sit in his office reading a book. He had that book there, and you can see it's like, dude, who in the fuck are you? Who are you fooling?
Right.
He was really, I mean, and remember, he wanted to wrestle you, Mike. He wanted you to get behind him. Remember that?
It was terrible. Yeah, he was trying. He was talking. Yeah. Because we were talking about.
Mike remembers it.
Yeah, I remember clearly because I was like, "Fuck! I hope no one comes here and sees this conversation," because I felt so awkward. Where's HR when you need it?
I always felt bad for the guy to some degree because he was brought in and told he didn't have to worry about doing anything. This was just the VP trying to get back at myself and one other who disagreed with him, and so he wanted to put someone between us, and he just wanted a yes man. And so he brought this director in primarily just to be there, not to do anything. It's still Fall myself and Anwar at the time, right? Yeah. And that would be it. And so that's kind of how it was built. And you're right. Every time he'd get out of a meeting, sometimes the best part was he'd get up and leave the meeting like 5 to 10 minutes before it was done. And people would just suddenly look at each other going, is it over? I mean, he wasn't running the meeting, but he'd just get up and leave. And then you go out and there he is sitting in his office reading a book. So to your point, that was like, oh, okay. So yeah. But later on, I found out, before he was let go, they was told, just come in and just, don't worry about doing anything. It's irrelevant. We would still do it. It's just he wanted him there. And then eventually the VP got fired as well because, again, he hired a guy who did nothing.
The cultural fit was horrible with him. He was, I mean, Mormon, ex-Marine. And then we have one of the sales guys who's just the most over-the-top, flamboyant. And you would just see his ass pucker, like you could tell that he would be like that frozen, like when kind of I'm forgetting his name now. Yeah, Ryan. I know you guys know what I'm talking about. Ryan. When Ryan would come by, you could see that he would just be like I don't know how to talk to this person. How should I act? Should I leave? Should I whatever? But yeah.
What I can't forget is the time when they finally fired both of them. How we were all celebrating, and I was drunk by 10 a.m. sleeping in my couch next to my desk. You guys remember that?
I remember that.
Actually, I remember like that with you. But I remember that one.
Yeah, I think
the first time you ended up falling asleep under your desk.
Stop.
Or coming in the next day with one of the same clothes.
Shut up now. Let it go.
What go?
So, like I said, there's many stories.
Many stories. But yeah, he was culturally working at a video game website in San Francisco. He was not a fit at all.
Yeah,
it didn't make any sense.
No, it did not.
Weird. It was weird.
But he did like a few of the girls that worked for us. I think he was looking for a few extra wives or something.
Wow,
something.
But
yeah,
really.
He had his biases. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. He did.
Oh yeah, he did. He knows all about that.
He did.
Some people got, definitely promoted, who he shined to, but they still deserved it.
Yeah, I mean, actually, in reality, they deserved it.
They actually did deserve it.
But it wasn't based just on that. It just wasn't based on that. I agree.
No.
There's something else tied to it too. They definitely deserved it.
It definitely tipped the scales, and you saw it. It was obvious, but whatever. Yeah. That's ancient.
It was good. Yeah, there you go. Well, this was a great show, guys. I'm loving the way we finished this one off talking about.
We need one more minute. What are you going to talk about for 1 minute? We're going to talk about next week. What's final thoughts?
Final thoughts: the inauguration went off without a hitch.
I knew it would.
It just popped up as we expected.
As soon as they were prepared, nothing was going to happen. We all knew that.
The only thing that did happen is Black Lives Matter started protesting in Portland, which seems to be the consistency anyway, because they want to make it be known that just because they switched administrations from Republican to Democrats doesn't mean it's any better. So
it's ridiculous that people think that the country's changed at all just because this has happened. I mean, look, Black Lives Matter was upset because the administration didn't reach out to them after they won the election.
That's my point, right? So it doesn't necessarily cancel or solve anything when the two groups are still looked at as still a problem when it comes to movements like the Black Lives Matter, or potentially others as well. I mean, I'm only saying them because they're the ones, obviously, recently with Portland and whatnot, they're trying to make sure they're staying in the forefront.
I agree.
But yeah, so for the most part, though, it went without a hitch. Nothing there.
I knew everybody. Yeah. Well, once the government was prepared for it, we knew that they weren't going to do anything.
Yeah. Well, it was good. It was at least maintained positive. I mean, obviously, Trump took off early in the morning and didn't attend. Didn't even welcome the future president, to the White House, which is odd. Even the previous president who didn't attend the inauguration, at least were there to allow him in.
Yeah.
It's not like he can go on Twitter or anything.
Correct.
Pornhub even fucking banned him.
Who?
I mean, Pornhub even banned him. Everything banned him.
What is he on Pornhub for?
It's just a joke, dumbass. Relax.
I thought you were being serious. I'm like, dude, really? Because he was banned from things. So you pull out Pornhub. I'm like, wait, it's banned from Pornhub.
Even the social media sites that he wasn't on banned him. I think everybody just came out and banned him. Pornhub might have, to be honest.
They didn't ban him. Stop. Anyway, there'd be no purpose. It would be a purpose. All right, you go ahead. Go on Pornhub right now and look it up for everyone.
Yeah, you do that, Len. Keep yourself busy.
So yeah, great show. Next week, let's try and catch up on WandaVision.
Try.
I'd love to talk about more sci-fi. Maybe talk about again Future State.
No, we did it. They didn't ban him. God damn it. Sorry.
Okay, we can talk about myths. Let's talk about some of the biggest myths we know of. And myths being like, Bigfoot. I'm talking Bigfoot here, dude. Let's talk about the myths of Bigfoot.
Oh, I got some theories for Bigfoot. So yeah, let's get into that.
Loch Ness Monster. I think there's a few things we can go through next week.
Absolutely. I'm all in.
Moon landing. Are we going to conspiracies or
myths?
It depends what you consider. Well, let's talk about that.
That's a very good point. I like where Len's going. It's a good call. Good call there, Len. Good call.
Well, Loch Ness is considered both a mystery or a myth and a potential conspiracy.
Are we saying that it has to lean towards more myth than conspiracy? Not like
whatever it leans towards. Whatever it leans
towards. Like moon landing. People say it's a myth, but I would say that
it happened.
Okay.
It's fine.
Well, yeah. Well, no, it's a myth. It never happened.
No, it happened. It happened.
All right.
Why we've never been back is the bigger question that helps fuel that myth.
No reason to.
Totally disagree. All right, so next week we'll talk about this next week. I hope everybody enjoyed the show. Thanks for listening and watching. I just can't handle you right now.
Yeah, me too.
So, that's understandable. Hey, we won't pass the hour mark. That's all I wanted.
Wow.
Okay, and you're continuing. Good.
Yeah. Stop talking. All right. So anyway, everybody have a great show.
Just like the Oscars.
Everybody have a good weekend.
They can keep everything cut.
Take care.
Put it up.
Take care, Mike. Take care, Mike.
And it's just going to keep going until somebody cuts us off and just ends the show automatically without us having.
Bye.